Hey REL 4D, welcome back to another recap. Sorry I missed week 2, so this will be a week 2 and 3 recap. We'll just jump straight into it then. For week 3, I haven't actually watched any of the games yet. I was planning on recording a couple right after this morning, and then a couple tomorrow morning. But for week 2, I was gone on the weekend, and like Friday and Thursday, so I missed, and I wasn't able to actually catch the replays for these ties, but I did record all the ones. I recorded this one, and this one. They're on my YouTube. I wasn't able to get these 3 ties though, so we'll just talk about them. I think for this one, I had predicted Al-Andalus to win it, but it was a tie. And then I'll look at all the teams after I look at the 2 weeks, but I figured this game would be close. If the Dwarves got some removals, I think it could start rolling in their favor, but yeah. This one, I predicted the High Elves, and the Undead managed to take it by just... They got the removals they needed, they kept the pressure up, which I thought was really good. I thought they both played pretty good that game. This one is one I didn't watch, but I figured a draw could happen. I predicted Submit and Obey as like a slightly more developed Chaos team, but could have gone either way, and it looks like they just did the same thing to each other and it ended in a tie. With the admin win for Grimlock's Crushers, Terrible Tyrannos and Dundering Herd. I believe I predicted Terrible Tyrannos, but I thought this could be close too. Like, Orcs and Lizards have a pretty even matchup against each other a lot of the time. Then we go to Warm, Soft, and Juicy versus Multi-Level Marketing, which I predicted the Khemri, so I'm kind of on a roll. Yeah, and the Nurgle just did Nurgle things. They got removals they needed, they put up pressure, and they got the win in the end. Then Defida Aces versus Bridgemen. I predicted Defida Aces. But you know, the Bridgemen just had the stars. They had so much inducements, they managed to use them well. Pull out a tie with some good, like a crazy scoring play they got the tie with, but they didn't play too bad all game. Neither coach did. That was a nice game to watch. Which puts me, for the first 2 weeks, I only got 1 game predicted correctly. I didn't actually predict any for week 3, but we'll look at them anyway. The Svaltime Slayers versus Warm, Soft, and Juicy. The Dwarves get the win, which I feel like in this matchup, if the Nurgle don't get the removals, the Dwarves have a fair shot with how much guard and stand firm and stuff that they have on their team. I think they had a shot from the start, but 1-0, nothing to scoff at. Defida Aces versus Terrible Tyrannos. I would have predicted Defida Aces to win just from the pure development on the team. They're kind of crazy. Terrible Tyrannos are gonna get they're gonna get their stuff coming soon though. Get the bye week for the Bridgemen. Chaos beats Khemri in a shocking turn of events with 27 armor breaks. 64 blocks, ouch. That kind of sucks for the Khemri, taking 8 casualties and 2 KOs. Which one is a self-inflicted casualty. Okay. Then we go on and the Orcs beat the Pro Elves. Probably just another game for the Pro Elves where they got outbashed, they got out-removed. Can't really do much about it. But that's the Orc play style, so you have to see it coming. Big tie between Grimlocks and Al-Andalus, 2-2. I'm cheering for Grimlocks this season. I think they have a really nice Lizardman team with some good skinks. and I think they're going to be putting up a fight. And Al-Andalus, he's a pretty good coach, so I'm not surprised it's 2-2 draw. And then we have the Undead smashing the Living Goats 2-0. Doesn't even look like it was that one-sided. No, it wasn't even one-sided for armor breaks. The Undead just kept the ball longer. Probably had more pieces for stealing the ball and such. Yeah. Now we'll look through the teams quick. Terrible Tyrannos still looking solid with their development. Still nothing special on the Skinks. I feel like that's the drawback of this team. They have really good Saurus, a really nice Bloxagor, but are really lacking in the skink department. Like even just one block skink instantly improves this team's chances of winning. Or any stat. But sadly they haven't gotten any of that yet. Maybe this guy will get a good one on the next one. The dwarves are just a scary dwarf team with lots of development. Like all these linemen are scary. Like once this guy gets stand firm, he's not going anywhere. Really well developed dwarf team. Nice sacker, nice carrier, nice blitzers, nice troll slayers. Has a lot of money saved up. Then we have the Nurgle, who they have some nice development. They have a crazy Pestigore. They just need to get more development on the Warriors. That's basically the only criticism I have for the team is maybe if you're up men in a half, you try to put a touchdown on a Warrior and get him a level. That might help you in the long run. Try to get these two leveled up more to catch up. And this plus strength guy might need some guidance down the line too, just to get Mighty Blow to level himself up. Yeah, and what injury does this guy have? A niggling injury? Oh, you just fire the dirty player then, because he already lost value once he got the second skill. So you just fire him now, and just hope you get an MVP on Nabisco the Third or something. To fight Aces, Rumblebee ditched his Agi up lineman. I know he was telling me about that, which really just made his team better overall. He cut basically a wizard worth of team value on that guy. Keeping it lead. He still has a crazy elf piece and a crazy killer who are both very close to leveling. He's got 3 blitzers who are very close to leveling. If you're Rumble for the next game, you might try to feed your first touchdown to Goose just to get him the level if his injuries don't work. And you try to get a pass on Hollywood, and then you try to get touchdowns on Tomahawk, maybe a couple blitzes on him. And you really push to level up these 3 in the next game. Troll's almost leveled. Troll's going to get guard, probably. Blackworks are still looking good. Going to the Bridgemen, who they're getting the development on their blockers, which I really like. Now he's just got to, get this guy leveled up again, get these guys. You don't want to score on your blitzers anymore. You want to just develop your blockers for a while. You probably want to get each of these guys to level 2. Level 3, I mean. Get them their other levels. Keep them going. Then you can, develop blitzers again. Multi-level marketing. Still has a really nice throw raw. Good blitzers. Just can't get the Tomb Guardian development. And I feel like that's the only thing really holding this team back. Is the Tomb Guardian development. I think a lot of their games, because they lost to the Chaos, the Nurgle, tied the Orcs this season. I feel like a lot of those could be turned to wins with some Tomb Guardian development if these 2 rookies were developed, but it happens. You'll eat a couple bad Kaz on them and they just get ruined. It's the issue with Decay. Yeah, I think this team can come out strong once they start getting more development. It might not be this season, but Dundering Herd, another solid orc team. Not as good as Rumblebees. Still need to develop this black orc that got replaced. But you still have good blitzers. You have 2 killers, which I'm not a big fan of having 2 piling on, but it's a pretty nice development on it. Your troll's got guard, almost leveled. This is a really solid looking team. You might want to consider ditching the dirty player soon, especially if he eats another MVP, because you don't want your dirty player to be worth over 100k. There's no point in that. Yeah, really solid looking orc team. Grimlock's Crushers still have their almost a 1-turner who's almost leveled. Maybe he'll get another skill. You have some Saurus that are almost leveled. 3 Saurus that are all a Kaz within leveling. Could have a really nice game for him next time next time he plays a low armor team. Still got this rookie Saurus he's going to try to level. Block Skink's going to try to level too. You're really hoping this guy gets a plus movement on the next skill. That'd be awesome. Having a natural 1-turner on the Lizardman team. Be perfect. Scooter's Chaos, the Living Goats. Coming along nicely. I think he lost a Blodge Guard goat, I believe, in one of his last games. So you'll try to level this guy up, probably. And yeah, probably build like some Sacker Beastmen and stuff. He's got a really nice spread of SPP that should come out nicely. You can even get another level next game. You get 2 more levels next game with this guy and this guy. His team's going to become scary probably by the end of the season with all this spread development. Welcome to Zombocom with their 3+ agility pieces. Nice ghoul development. You're going to turn this ghoul into a sacker to join this guy. You have a nice killer. Nice development on this guy. This guy probably gets stand firm next. And becomes just a roadblock. Really nice development. It's pretty lean team actually. Like you have a lot of ghouls, but you're up there in team value, but like you don't really need much more on this team really to thrive. Al Andalus has like a couple nice players. There's nothing special about this team. There's nothing special about these high elves, but he's just manages to pull out results a lot of the time. He manages to pull out results. And I like that. He's a good coach. He's a lean team. He gets what? He's 1450 once the loner comes in. Like, that's going to be getting wizards against every other team in the division, basically. Same with the pro elves, REL Publica. These guys have a little something else going for them. They got like a plus strength catcher. They got like a guard lineman. But really nothing too special. And just a lean team value. Coming in at 13. You ditch that. 1340. With this guy being out, getting a loner, losing the extra cash. I guess and the levels probably 1360, but still really lean team. Submit and Obey is a really well developed chaos team. Like, this is what Scooter's team is going to turn into with the added bonus of having a Blodge carrier. And this is one of the scarier teams in the division, but I think a lot of other teams can handle it. Yeah, and then we'll look at week 4. Grimlocks versus Svarltimes. Grimlocks is probably going to get a wizard against them. Svarltime doesn't have a bench. Neither did they. I'm gonna predict fall time. I'm gonna predict them for this one. Yeah. And then Dundering Herd and Living Goats. I'm gonna predict Living Goats. I like Chaos versus Orc matchups a lot. Multi-level marketing and welcome to Zombocom. I'm going Zombocom with just how they've been playing lately. It's been awesome. Bridgman and Al Andalus. I'm going Al Andalus because I think he's a really good coach. Gonna predict Rumblebee. I'm predicting Rumblebee every week because I think he can do it. And then Submit and Obey versus Warm, Soft, and Juicy. The Nurgle just don't have the development on their warriors to keep up with this Chaos team. I think this Chaos team is going to work the Nurgle. Yeah. And I think the Chaos is going to get the win. I didn't mean to jump out of the division, though. We'll look at the leaderboard. Right now we have... It's still week 3, so these aren't really runaways, but we have 3 people with 5 points. With 7 points, I mean. Rumblebee, Badjar, and Fixer, which... At this point, based on the performance the first 3 weeks of a lot of these teams, I feel like these 3 are going to be at least in the top half of the teams by the end of the season. I'm still predicting Rumblebee to win the division, but I think Fixer is going to do really solid, too. And Badjar might pull out a big finish. Still cheering for Logan Shadowclaw and his almost one-turner Skink. Yeah, so this has been your 4D Week 2, Week 3 recap. Thanks for tuning in.